Tigers men's lacrosse team plays their home opener this Saturday. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And Coach, back to the friendly confines of the U this week for the first time as you take on the Mountaineers of Mount St. Mary's, a team that is coming off a tough loss to Delaware last week, 16-12. So you get a gauge not only of your next opponent, but also of one of your future CAA foes in that matchup. When you look at the tape, what did you see from the Mount?
Mount was, a very athletic team. They scrap and they play hard. It was really impressive to see their competitiveness at all facets of the game. And they had Delaware on their heels for quite a bit of that game. Delaware ended up kind of settling in towards the end of the third quarter into the fourth, and then was kind of able to establish a lead and get going from there. But Mount St. Mary's had, I don't want to say control, but they had a good amount of momentum in that game, and they were able to create a lot of opportunities for themselves.
You look last year, you handled them pretty well, but this team is better than the team that you played last year?
They look more athletic. They look more organized and understanding of kind of how they want to attack a team, both offensively and defensively. So I feel like they just got some more experience and then some more understanding of how to utilize their tools, that they have out there.
Brendan McCarthy had a couple of goals for them. I know he's very important to their team. They, as you mentioned, they led at halftime and through most of the third quarter. So for them, they're going to be coming in here thinking maybe they let one get away and looking for trying to avenge that loss.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they got some, a bad taste in their mouth because they did have an opportunity, I feel like, to kind of pull away, not pull away, but be able to take that win up at Delaware. And, they're talented enough, and, we got to be, obviously, as we've shown, we're not, we've shown not to be very good right now, so we got to be at our best and be able to, take the small steps in practice and improve every day to know that we're going to be tested from the start against Mount.
When you go to practice this week, and again, coming off the loss to Hopkins, do you go back to the fundamentals, since fundamentals seem to be an issue on Saturday against the Blue Jays? Or do you just say, well, maybe it was just one of those days and we need to work on other specific things?
We never get away from the fundamentals. We pretty much work on those every day in practice. Definitely putting a little bit more emphasis on the execution of it. Not that, again, we don't do that. But again, just trying to get the guys to understand how easy it can be, but also how difficult they have made it, just by a lack of focus and things like that. So making sure they understand, as we talked about, the reps. Every rep's got to matter, and whether that was a piece to it, against Hopkins or not, that's something that we're focusing on, as well as our ability to get more organized, to understand how we need to allow ourselves to get into a groove, into a game, both offensively and defensively. We just didn't allow ourselves to do that, in our first game, and that obviously didn't work out well for us.
You have a new offense on the attack, on the midfield. John Mazza, really the only guy that had a significant playing time that's returned this year. And you used a lot of players against Hopkins. Will that continue this Saturday, that you try to mix things up, trying to find the right combinations?
Yeah, we've been trying to do that from the start. I think, with the first game, it was, unfortunately due to a comedy of errors, we tried to, change things up to try to get the most out of who we had and what we were doing. So, again, we're continuing to figure out who we are and who can really do it for us, and then what those combinations look like. So, I'm sure you'll see, quite a few guys on the field.
How about the short stick defensive midfield? And you obviously you lost Jack Adams, one of the greatest to ever play at Towson at that position. Zach Goodrich, is it a case where maybe sometimes Zach may think he has to do too much, or is he secure enough in his role that he knows exactly what he has to do coming into a ball game?
I mean, Zach's a great leader, so I feel like when the team might be struggling, he's going to try to give us a spark, and that's he has done that in the past. He's been covering us, during his time here, and he's been able to do that. So I do feel like he does put the onus on him at times to try to make a play or do something positive. I feel like he tried to do that in the first game, and didn't work out in our favor as it has in the past. So again, it's getting him to understand the situations, understand kind of the give and take, which has been a learning curve for him, and we don't want to discourage, because he's a tremendous athlete. He's a great leader. He can make those plays, so we're not going to discourage that. Just maybe educate him a little bit and really kind of, at times, how far he really needs to push it or not.
I mean, it's a kid that's sophomore and named the team captain. You don't see that too often.
No.
All right, so the Tigers and the Mountaineers will be at Johnny Unitas Stadium at noon. Come on out to the U. Weather's supposed to be great for mid to late February. Coach Nadelen loves these games more than I do. Anyway, if you can't make it out there, Hunter Lochte and I will have the broadcast for you on TowsonTigers.com starting at 11:45. So for head coach Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. And as always, go Tigers.